Hey guys, so we have the full scan for V-Jump as well as an actual additional scan for Weekly Shonen Jump that's also showing off Pikkon as well as Janemba. In this video I specifically want to focus on Pikkon and what I believe his role is going to be as a dual Dokkan Fest unit, as well as the implications that has for the future of the game, in addition to him also being a unit super attack character as well. So the first thing I want to do is quickly go over the actual scan itself now that we have the images. It is confirmed that these guys are dual Dokkan Fest, so Janemba, transforming Janemba from this fat form into the active skill. This is the TUR art, this is the SSR. So the TUR art is literally just Janemba, who we don't really have a good unit of in the game. He's going to active skill transform into the Super Janemba, so that's how that's going to work. Pikkon is just Pikkon, there's no exchange unit, you can see his name right here, it's just Pikkon. It's literally going to be Pikkon and that's it. There's no Pikkon slash Gogeta, there's no Pikkon slash Goku Angel or anything like that. It is just Pikkon. So he does have a unit super attack as well, which we'll get into later. But that's pretty much all the information that they give us regarding the dual Dokkan Fest here. So it's going to be Pikkon and Janemba. And then the only other piece of new information that we really have from the scan is the fact that Babidi and Majin Buu are the next Prime Battle. This right here means Prime Battle. So there is going to be a legendary campaign versus Krillin. We already knew that. But it looks like, yeah, the next the next LR Prime Battle is going to be Babidi and Buu, which is interesting because I would have thought they would have probably tried to drop that during the worldwide celebration, but they didn't. But yeah, so that's pretty much what we have going on here. And then the only other piece of really new info, well, it's not really new info, but it's just a confirmation in the Weekly Shonen Jump scan, is it shows us the bottom portion of Pikkon's art. Because in here it's covered up by the Buu, right? You can see the little outline of the circle here, so we know for a fact that is part of the card art. And it's fusing Vegeta and Goku, which is interesting because that pretty much is a giveaway that the unit super attack that this unit is going to have is specifically going to be with either an Angel Goku or an Angel Vegeta, a movie hero. We don't really know what the condition is for the unit super attack to activate. But yeah, I guess we'll find out whenever this unit comes out or the data download releases. By the way, Jump Festa is today. I believe it starts at 7:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that you can convert that to your time zone. On 5/9, we will be covering that, so it's possible they do show off this unit as well as the Janemba and show their animations and super attacks and whatever. So I recommend, I'm sure it's going to be everywhere, all over the place once it actually releases, so you'll definitely see that. But the reason why this is significant is because you take a look at the other two unit super attack units we've released in the past, or we've received in the past, with the Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta, as well as the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who de-transforms into base form and has the unit super attack with Hercule. That Goku has Hercule in the card art, literally front and center, and that Super Saiyan 2 LR Angel Vegeta has Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the background, right behind him in the card art. So every single time they have a unit super attack unit in this game, it looks like they're going to put somewhere in the card art an indication of what the unit super attack is going to be with. So the way that this is probably going to work, and this is getting into a deeper discussion about the actual unit super attack mechanic and what I think they're going to use it to, or how they're going to use it to promote and sell certain characters. My question is this actually a Pikkon unit, or is this really just a Gogeta in disguise? Because the reason why I say that is because these are TURs, right? So it says UR, right? These are UR units, these are not LRs. They're only going to have one super attack animation, unless you have a unit super attack, right? Then it's going to be your regular super attack animation, and then the other one's going to be the unit super attack animation. So taking a look at this right here, we talked about this, meaning that this is going to be the unit super attack animation. Whether it's going to be, so what I think it's going to be is I think it's going to be either an Angel Goku or an Angel Vegeta, because we have a bunch of free-to-play units for both of those, so that's going to satisfy the conditions of them not sort of violating the Kompu Gacha law. They could also just give out more copies or open up more free-to-play options for these characters, which I think they're probably going to do anyway. So I've seen people speculate, oh, it's with any movie hero Vegeta, any movie hero Goku. I think it's going to be any Angel Goku or Angel Vegeta, because there's different ways you can farm these guys. The Vegeta, the Angel Vegeta in the game that we currently have is from the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Dokkan event. and the Goku that we have in the game that's Angel. I can think of two off the top of my head. One is the Epic Showdown one. That's the Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku. The other one is the free-to-play Angel Goku from the Majin Buu event, the one that you exchange for chocolate. I'm sure there's many more, but those are just a few that I can think of off the top of my head. So there are free-to-play options for this that are going to let you activate the unit Super Attack if that's the actual condition that it has. So the first point I want to bring up, so I have 2 points. The first one is Pikkon as a dual Dokkan Fest unit. I think a lot of people are very adamant about the fact that Pikkon isn't really a very popular character. I've specifically seen a lot of Japanese players complain already. Like people thought this was a joke when this was announced. The fact that Pikkon's a dual Dokkan Fest unit. I think this potentially opens the doors for many other, I guess, lesser hype, underrepresented characters to get Dokkan Fests, and not even dual Dokkan Fests, just regular Dokkan Fests, which I think is good. I do think that that's a good thing for the game. The only reason why I wasn't really too happy about the fact that we're getting a Pikkon is because I feel like there's many more deserving characters of being a Dokkan Fest unit, more than Pikkon, that have never really seen like proper representation in the game. Like I can think of a ton. Just to name a few, like what about like a Final Flash Super Vegeta? Like we don't have a Final Flash Super Vegeta in the game, and likewise we don't have a transforming second form cell into perfect form cell. So that would be a dual Dokkan Fest I'd like to see. What about like, I don't know, there's like a million different forms of Super Saiyan Goku that we don't really have good representation of. We literally only have one like decently hype Super Saiyan Goku from Namek, which is the transforming base one into Super Saiyan. We don't have a Super Saiyan Goku from the Final Form Cooler movie. We don't have Ma Junior versus Goku from that World Tournament. We don't have a Demon King Piccolo, like a Dokkan Fest Demon King Piccolo. I mean, I can keep going on and on and on. There's like a million characters that I feel are more deserving of a Dokkan Fest than Pikkon is. But that's besides the point. So again, with Pikkon releasing as a dual Dokkan Fest unit, we sort of talked about this a little bit back when Android 13 was released as a Dokkan Fest, because Android 13 is not a hype character. Like it's just it's just that simple, right? Android 13 is sort of more of a low to mid-level hype character in this franchise. And their decision to make him a Dokkan Fest was also indicative of, oh, okay, well now, you know, they're more comfortable with releasing these sort of like mid-level hype characters as Dokkan Fest exclusives, which means we could see the door open for other characters in the future. And then literally this entire year, all we got are fusions. So I don't know. Me personally, I do think Pikkon is way, way less hype than Android 13, just from what I've seen from the Japanese community react to this. Pikkon is like one of the least hype characters they could have possibly released as a dual Dokkan Fest, or even just a regular Dokkan Fest. So, like someone like me, I've been asking for a very, very long time for someone like Ginyu to get a Dokkan Fest. Like for like 5 years, I've been asking for that. So now it's actually possible that we see that. If we're gonna get Pikkon, why not Ginyu? If we're gonna get Pikkon, you know, why not? I don't know. Garlic Jr. is literally on the same level of hype as Pikkon, in my opinion. But yeah. So that's my first point. Like, this could potentially open the door for more underrepresented characters to get Dokkan Fests in the game. My second point is a little bit more interesting in my opinion, and that's sort of their take on the unit super attack mechanic in the game. So I mentioned this earlier, but basically, you know, is this a Pikkon unit or is this a Gogeta unit? Like, is this Pikkon parentheses Gogeta, or is this just Pikkon? And what I mean by that is we know that Gogeta is somehow going to be involved in the unit super attack based off of this image right here. And when they show off the animation for this unit, the unit super attack animation, like, is it just going to be Gogeta doing stuff? Like, is Pikkon gonna like fall down and like die, and Gogeta is gonna just show up and do everything in this unit super attack? Because if that's the case, then is this unit really Pikkon, or is it just Gogeta? Like, are they using a different name for Gogeta to sell Gogeta to us? And that's what I think is actually happening here, because there's a million instances that this happens in the franchise, and the main thing that you have to go back to with Dokkan in mind is that this is just another way for them to, I guess, maneuver their way around the same name issue that this game has. So obviously you guys at this point know that you can't have more than one character with the same name on the same team. So you can't have multiple versions of a character that's called Super Gogeta on the same team with other Super Gogetas, because the game doesn't let you do that. And that's why I feel one of the reasons they even came up with the transformation mechanic in the first place was that they could let you get past that same name issue. So if you have, a Super Gogeta, guess what? You can't use another Super Gogeta, but you can use a fusing Goku and Vegeta into Super Gogeta. You can use Super Saiyan Gogeta in the Broly movie. That's why they even named him Super Saiyan Gogeta. Then in the same page of that, you can use a Super Saiyan Gogeta, but you can also use a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Gogeta, because they technically have different names. And then that's basically how they got around the whole name issue with the transformation mechanic. Same thing with exchange mechanic. The exchange mechanic was another way that lets you use characters that have the same name on the same team. And now I feel this is like the third big mechanic that's going to let you use characters that technically have the same name, but they don't really have the same name. So, like, my question is, again, is this a Pikkon unit or is this a Gogeta unit? Like, when you're summoning for this unit, are you thinking about using Pikkon, or are you thinking about using, the Gogeta who's going to show up in every super attack animation instead of Pikkon? So, to me, this just seems like another way for them to get around the same name issue, and they're just selling us another Gogeta. That's it. This unit is not Pikkon. This is a Gogeta unit. And so with that in mind, we can think of some other examples. Like, how far are they going to take this mechanic? Like, are we going to get, and I can see this happening for sure, a Dokkan Fest Kid Krillin and Kid Gohan, or not Kid Krillin, a Dokkan Fest Krillin and Kid Gohan from the Saiyan Saga that has a unit super attack with a base form Goku or something. That deflects the Spirit Bomb back at somebody, and then that's their unit super attack. That's like a way for them to sell us a base form Goku from the Saiyan Saga without him having the same name issue with other base form Gokus that exist in the game. And you can keep on going on with that too. Like, how far are they going to take that mechanic? Are we going to get a Dokkan Fest Supreme Kai that has a unit super attack with a Goku or Vegeta, where he gives them the Potara earrings, they fuse into Vegeta, and then they just start attacking the enemy? Like, is that going to be something they start selling us too? Like, as a way to weave in more Vegetos to the game, being under a different name? Maybe. This is their way of one of their countermeasures against the same name issue. That's literally all this is. So those are sort of my thoughts on this whole mechanic and the fact that Pikkon's going to be a dual Dokkan Fest unit in the game. You guys can let me know down below what you think about this. I'm not gonna judge this until we actually see how this works in game, but that's how I feel that they're setting this mechanic up to work in this game from now on. Am I a fan of that? Honestly, not really. I would have preferred that they just release these characters as they are without having to lock, more fusions behind them and be like, oh, you know what? It's not actually Pikkon. It's actually just a Gogeta unit. Or, whenever we get the Kid Gohan and Krillin Dokkan Fest, you know what? It's actually not Kid Gohan and Krillin. It's actually just another Goku. Because when Buchigiri still existed, they weren't afraid to just go out and release, festival exclusive Kid Gohans, festival exclusive Krillins, festival exclusive Oob units. Whereas I feel like Dokkan is a bit more apprehensive to do that. It might not be the wrong move, just from a financial perspective. All these fusions are going to sell, all these Saiyans are going to sell much better than things like Pikkon would. But it just seems underhanded to me. But I can't fault them for doing it, I guess, just because, money. So anyway, that's going to be my take on what I see from this specifically, as well as this scan down here with the Goku and Vegeta. You guys can let me know down below again what you think about all of this and how you feel about the unit super attack mechanic sort of being used in this way. I haven't really seen many other people talk about it like that. Just another way for them to sell us, fusion characters essentially, and hype characters that are locked behind the names of lesser popular characters. So that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.